get started.
Okay, I guess we can begin. I'm unmuting myself on Twitter Spaces officially. So hello and welcome to the next episode of our DeSci Pulse podcast. This is the third episode, which is called Following Protocols to Live Longer. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We have got some very special guests today who have been interviewing a lot of cool people about their health and longevity protocols, and they will share a lot of special insights and secrets with you. We'll get to that in a minute. Before we begin, so as always, this podcast is brought to you in partnership between BiohackerDAO and Data Lake. Do we have any like special DeSci news that we want to share before we begin the topic?
As always, this podcast. I may be biased, but I'll start by sharing the news from Data Lake. We are super excited that we've launched our chain, which is highly free, a rollup on top of Arbitrum Orbit. We are very happy about it. We hope that this can become an important piece of infrastructure for science. For now, it's gonna host mostly our application for patient recruitment and storage of informed consents. But we hope that with further adoption of DeSci, it will also serve further projects in science. So we are very excited about that.
It's going to host mostly our application for patient recruitment.
That's awesome. Super excited for you guys as well. On our side, BiohackerDAO, without chilling too much, but our initial Genesis token sale on Juicebox is actually closing this week as we speak. We're very happy. We have raised about, I think, like 100K in USD in this initial Genesis round, which is basically just from the community and Balaji. So it's a very good start without having like any real VCs involved. Still open for this week, then it's going to close, and we'll probably do another round maybe in a few months. Let's see. Yeah, not financial advice, not an investment, it's just a government program, of course.
But don't forget to check it out.
But don't forget to check it out and don't miss out, of course. That's the call to action. Thank you for that. And I guess without further ado, let's just dig into our topic today. And I will just shoot the ball to our guests. So Alex and Anna, do you want to just introduce yourselves and tell us what you're building?
Thank you for that.
Hey, sure. Yeah. So I'm Alex and Anna today here with me. We are co-founders of ProtocolsHero, which is an anti-aging platform where we aggregate various of different longevity protocols. And we are also building another project in stealth also related to longevity protocols, which we shortly announce probably during this podcast as well. I'm Alex. I'm a software engineer and a tech entrepreneur. With mostly background in AI, and then Anna can also introduce herself.
Protocols, which we shortly announce probably during this podcast as well. I'm Alex. I'm a software engineer and
just for a note, like Anna, you need to unmute here on Twitter Spaces.
Introduce yourself.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Still can't hear you.
Just for a note, like Anna, you need to unmute here on Twitter Spaces.
Yeah, I try to. Can you hear me?
Still can't
If it
hear you.
doesn't work, maybe we can play one of those games when you introduce your best friend and co-founder, and Alex will introduce Anna.
It's going, but I am unmuted.
Okay, no worries. Yeah. So in that case, like then once Anna is fixing that, Anna is a brilliant product manager. She got solid expertise in AI agents. Her previous startup, where she was a founding CPO, was passed through Berkeley Skydeck. They were helping women all over the world, and right now we are both committed to disrupt longevity.
I like the sound of that.
That's a life hack. So for those of you who have joined us only on Twitter Space, Anna has just jumped, a couple centimeters to another screen, and right now is physically with Alex. So I hope that you'll be able to talk to us from one microphone. Amazing.
Okay. I mean, yes. Once we are solving the technical issues, I guess we can. Oh, now we are both on mute, or is it just me?
No, I also can't hear them.
Now we have lost both of you.
Okay.
Still nothing.
We can see you, but your audio is not coming through to the Twitter Spaces.
Maybe say something.
Okay, I can see Alex is leaving the spaces and rejoining. I think that's the best hack when it comes to X.
All right.
Yeah, back.
Elon is ragging us a little bit, but nothing new in the world.
And just a couple of moments ago, he banned bold on Twitter. Apparently, you're not gonna be able to write your posts in bold anymore, guys.
Okay, yeah, but thank you for this tech delay. So yeah, that's a good sign. Like Anna is here, and just now we are back. I hope you hear us, right?
Loud and clear.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, so I wanted to add some first, but we are not medical, we don't have any medical background, so everything is stress. What we script in longevity protocols, and we are product builders, and we our expertise in using longevity numbers because we are really excited about this field.
All right, guys. So you're builders, you're engineers, you're brilliant engineers, as Alex has said about you, Anna. What's the genesis story of your startup? How did it all start?
So I think I originally started before. I think the idea that there are a lot of science around. You basically don't know what's really working, what is not working. And well, I was thinking, what's the most viral thing you got in the module? And then I saw that more people who are sharing different routines. Okay, well, we have a website where we aggregate protocols where people just really for longer. And so this is how the idea was called out. There was fun side besides that, because I had a flight to Roatan, which is the island in Honduras, a special longevity zone. And then I was thinking, okay, I'm going to that place. And then, okay, I don't want to be a person without any single project, right? So I want to have anything. And then I was thinking, okay, what if I just build it for fun, right? And then I scratched the internet and found some cool. I built a small website for that, and that was fun. And then Anna joined me as a couple and then we realized that we found some more than just longevity routines, and we are working on an AI super intelligence that will give more advanced advice for people who want to follow such protocols.
I joined because I have a personal story with health. I was diagnosed with autoimmune disease and some high autoimmune disease with gut inflammation, and I started to scroll and watch the worst scenarios with my disease, what it could be. And when I realized that I don't want just to take pills and immunosuppressants because my health will be worse and worse each year. And I came across some functional doctors like Harman and decided that it's my new lifestyle, and I changed everything, and I recovered in 6 months. So now it's like ongoing interest to support it more and more. So yeah.
So it seems that you are not only builders, product managers, and engineers, you also happen to be scientists yourself, citizen scientists, experimenting, gathering evidence, trying to see what's true and what's not. So kind of, from your perspective, what would be the, top 10 or top 3 general health hacks that you can assume with high probability, given all the body of evidence that are working, that people are using? What's hot right now? What do you observe?
Yeah, I would start where it's best for me, right? So it's not like direct advice to other folks, but I will start with the easiest ones more heavy, right? So the first thing what I realized sun sport in the morning is something that is a complete game changer for sleep. So first thing what I do in go to the balcony, and then I just have 5 to 20 minutes of sun exposure that helps to regulate circadian rhythms. And we live in Georgia, and the climate here is perfect. It's like in the Bay Area, and it's very easy because for us, so every day sunny, and we can have the sun exposure daily. Like if you live in London, for example, you can still do that. It's just you need to increase the duration of this exposure.
My special like
yeah, if you wake up before the sun, right? So there's nothing we found from protocol of Andrew Huberman. He, for example, takes illumination from 10,000 luminum 12-inch panel. This is a large lamp for like very bright lamp that replace the sun. It doesn't have any impact. And Bryan Johnson actually he does exactly the same. His morning routine explores more. He can also this is one of the game changer for better sleep for my case.
Yeah, for me, it's definitely bone broth as a natural source of collagen because I had gut problems, and it's helped a lot with reducing inflammation, and I continue to drink it in the morning. And I know that in our protocols, Gulie Gibson Clark is the same, just for longevity, as I know she doesn't have any problems, and gender, for example. So yeah, that's a game changer for me. And I also like sun exposure. It helps me not only with sleep, it helps with productivity during the day. Yeah.
Yeah, another very mindful advice, but they also quite powerful. Not having 1 hour before, 1 hour after wake up and go to bedtime. So it helps you actually to regulate your hormone levels and reduce the level of blue light exposure, which is also beneficial for sleep. And sleep is a go-to. Everyone is talking that sleep is awesome, right? But how to make your sleep better? This is one of the cheapest life hacks. Just don't touch your phone, right? 1 hour before bed or 1 hour after wake up. Another thing, which is also I think related to that thing, is try to be alarm free, because alarm it stimulates cortisol spikes, and it's a small hormone hack, just not having cortisol levels from alarm makes your circadian rhythms much better. I think that these are very easy. In sun exposure, don't touch your phone, and alarm-free wake up are really very easy to do sleep hacks, but they were really awesome. Then
I can tell about that because it's my guilty pleasure to stay in the bed after we wake up. It's also not very good for your dopamine. It will be hard to sleep at the evening if you after you wake up you still in the bed. So try to immediately go out of bed when your eyes is open. So it's also dangerous.
I think the next one is like more harder ones, like supplements is an important topic, right? So there is no direct answer which type of supplements are the best for longevity purpose or for general health purpose, right? Again, like talking from different stories, we know that there is a woman, Gulie Gibson Clark, a very, very niche longevity athlete, but she just takes normal supplements for like $79 a month. And with just these supplements and gym membership, she achieved like top 2 on rejuvenation leaderboard, performing as good as major players like Bryan Johnson, who's a very known rejuvenation athlete, right? And he spends like $2 million a year on his routines and procedures, right?
Yeah. And she looks amazing. We had a call with her, and she's 55 or 56, and she's really good. Looks great.
Yeah, but in terms of like supplements, I think there are many things which are more like, basic deficiencies, like, vitamin D, omega 3, and then magnesium, vitamin C. These are just, a very small niche stack, but that can at least fulfill your basic deficiencies. But then you can go and reach more advanced things like NMN or other supplements for up to like stem cell therapies or like some more experimental supplements like C60 is also like big promising. Then also like I would say that it will be great also to mention metrics, right? What do you think? So
Yes, let's talk about some metrics and maybe like what metrics can we actually use to track the effect of all of these things that you mentioned.
So I think top 4 metrics so far science knows are based at least in my experience talking with longevity doctors and with people who are in this field. So one, it's not hard to measure is VO2 max. So VO2 max has a really, really beneficial thing in terms of longevity because it directly affects your mortality rate. So it's a measure of how well your heart and lungs can deliver oxygen to the rest of your body. And it strongly correlates with overall longevity and risk of diseases. And increasing of VO2 max by only 7% correlates to a lower death rate by approximately 50%. So VO2 max, simply speaking, is just a metric where you define how good you perform as athlete. I mean, a high-tier athlete, they can run a marathon, right? Old people, they can't walk without any gadgets, right? So there is a different level of VO2 max. Can you run? Can you walk? Or can you do a marathon, right? So you can do a VO2 max in the lab, or there are some devices to do that. They measure, oxygen from the lungs, and it's really, really powerful. But need to know, like, in my opinion, there are 3 other metrics. Like, you can measure just fat percentage. You can do it in any gym. You can just buy smart weights and just measure your body daily. Because percentage of your fat is directly affecting how many hormones you have or any other things, right?
And percentage of physical mass.
Yeah. And then if your fat percentage is low, so meaning you have a lot of muscle mass, right? And then muscle mass they came from the time. And so that is actually the reason why we exercise, right? We exercise because we need to create our protein balance.
If it's all longevity protocol which focusing on this problem, it will be Peter Attia definitely, because he's focusing on exercises and muscle mass through protein consumption. So you can check it out on his YouTube channel, for example, or our website.
So what do you think, Michael
and Wojciech? So guys, what's really interesting for me is that you use this word longevity athletes, right? So you are essentially comparing folks who are trying to live longer to sports people. What do you think is going to be the future of this sport? Are we going to have longevity sports clubs? Are we going to have sponsorship for longevity athletes? And who's your favorite personal longevity athlete?
Okay, what do you think?
I think that this industry is growing fast, and there are several longevity models reports all around the world. Recently, it was news that somebody
and I think this partners they open it to ourselves.
Yes, and I think that it could be like venture-back industry, and because biohacking is full-time job, and
Exactly.
I talk a lot with biohackers, and I ask them, what is your biggest challenge, or what is your biggest problem, and all of them tells me that I don't have money or time to do it full-time. Yeah.
So it's like a basketball player or a football player or a rally racer who would go out and seek a sponsor who would essentially become your patron and help you achieve the best results. Do you think that's the future of longevity, that we are going to have Lionel Messi of longevity?
I believe that, yes. Yeah, I believe that.
I think that would be great. So like, I mean, all different strategies. I mean, some people are down to go for extreme therapy, right? While other people are trying to be more natural and follow natural style preventions. And we don't actually know what's best, because in some specific cases, we can find more that we benefit, right? And for me personally, like more people create more data, and then overall these things together they create better longevity, and everyone will benefit from that model.
Yeah, and about the question who is my favorite, I think it's hard to highlight someone, and
whose t-shirt would you buy?
Whose protein supplement would you buy with their name on it?
Whose virgin olive oil would you drink? That's a bias.
Yeah, I like Bryan Johnson because he's very honest and open-minded, and he's driven this industry. I guess influencer right now in this field. Also, I like Peter Attia for his medical background and evidence-based approach. I like Gulie Gibson Clark for her accessible approach, and every woman can follow your protocol and doing great results. Yes, so all of them are great. What do you think?
Yeah,
I'm getting more and more
fan of Peter Attia for his scientific approach to most longevity interventions.
Well, in my opinion, there are much more advanced protocols on the market right now, like people like Bryan Johnson or DeSci Pulse people, they try much more.
Just
Try
try
intervention, find
prevention, what's works best for him. And this is how I see what he's actually doing, right? And this is a true scientific approach to me. I mean, he is awesome, but is it good for everyone? Is it good for me?
In my opinion, it's the best protocol. The blueprint protocol works best for Bryan Johnson, right? And if you're looking for more affordable things, there are some also great people, Gulie Gibson Clark. She's a woman who just tries to make everything very affordable, and she really announced that in every single podcast or in her website, like
she's doing this steps because they are cheaper or they are more practical. They have high value for money outcomes.
Is she the one that said that an important part of her protocol is making sure she enjoys all the things she's doing, or was that someone else?
I don't know. It's a typical thing that you have, all of these protocols. Like, I mean, first thing they say, hey, you need to have a gratitude journal and so on. But let's just be more like scientific
on this part. Like,
what's the real reason of that? Because people who has less stress alive,
right? So in most cases,
at least the longest living woman, like she was like 123 years old. Her name is Joan Calment. And
did you find her protocol?
Like, she used to smoke. I mean,
what?
Did you figure out what was her protocol?
Yeah. She smoked. She was hanging with other people. Like, she had a funny story that when she was like around 85 or 90 years old, like maybe like fact check later after the podcast, but like she made a deal with her lawyer that he will pay her for her house until she die. And then the lawyer, who was 40 years old back in that age, he died early in his 70s, and then Jan just still remained alive, right? So she was doing really hard gamblings like that. She was taking joy of her life. And
conclusion, being a lawyer is no good for you.
Yeah. So I think the main idea about her lifespan was she never ever had stress in her life, because in her routine she never worked. She enjoyed ample free time for social events and self-care.
She just was born in a rich family, so yeah.
Another great tip: don't be a lawyer and be born in a rich family.
As long as the taxpayer wasn't paying for it, it's all good.
Exactly.
Do you believe in that? Like, you just go rich and you have good social environment, and then just you enjoy your life. You write your gratitude journal. Will you be immortal? I think no. What do you think?
I like to think I would hate that kind of life. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm actually curious. Isn't that counter the advice which says like the right amount of stress is actually good for you? You should build the resilience. You shouldn't be like super crazy stressed all the time, but you shouldn't be like in a zen zone all the time either. Like, is that not true, or do you think it's really like do nothing is the best approach when it comes to stress?
I think it's almost not possible to avoid stress in your life, but you can try to manage it. For example, startup where I've worked before, we built a mental health assistant with neuroscience approach and very deep into neuroscience techniques, and it helps me a lot. For example, if your cortisol if you already had a cortisol spike, it will take 6 hours to recover from it, but you can speed up it through some low intense exercise like yoga or just walking around and that stuff. So yeah, the conclusion is it's almost not possible to
different human protocols before this interview, and there's a really good quote about it. Like, he mentions many times that you can't get pleasure without getting pain, because pain and pleasure, they don't stay in the same part of the brain. And in my personal life, I also see that if you have some manageable stress, then you can get a reward after that. But if you have no any stress in your life, you don't have any pleasure as well, and that's why your life getting more stressed just because your life is full of pleasure.
yeah, the same idea in the book determination. So that's why for traveling the money talks, for example, because your brain is getting some stress, and to go back to homeostasis, it should avoid with pleasure after. So yeah.
All right, guys. I have actually a question about your platform and your product. So, what's your kind of $1 million vision? What would you like to create eventually? Because you're publishing protocols, right? Do you want everyone to publish their protocols on the platform? Do you want them to be rewarded, to be paid, to build fun clubs? What's your vision? How do you think? What would be the big exciting thing that you would like to build with ProtocolsHero?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, I think the main vision is that there is too many data right now. So medical data is doubling every 2 months. And it's getting more and more clear that no any human being is able to process any of data, including any protocols, longevity claims, whatever, right? And our mission is to offer users a reliable AI-driven platform that cuts through actionable insights based on trustworthy data. We aggregate right now variety of protocols, but we are working really hard on one new tool, which will be very close to the idea of protocols here.
But more dynamic.
Yeah, it will be more dynamic. We will aggregate and verify much more content from variety of podcasts, giving users tailored recommendations that they can trust. And the idea that it will be a dynamic AI interface that will provide actionable plan for each individual based on enormous data that we have in the internet.
We will start from YouTube and podcasts and transform claims from different videos in actions tailored to you.
I get it.
So,
All right. So there's just so much content on the internet that, consuming the content is almost, a full-time job, not even trying to apply it in your life. So we're just gonna make it easy for all of us, mere mortals, to be able to digest it and kind of, build our own protocol based on what's out there. Did I get it right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and yeah, sure. Want to add something? Today is longevity, and yeah, we want to launch our waitlist today. So yeah, if you join.
Absolutely, absolutely. Actually, I'm celebrating my 30th birthday in a couple of weeks. And a tailored longevity protocol was something that I actually requested for my birthday, so thank you.
Is 30 your chronological age or a biological age?
I do not know. I wasn't tested yet. That's why I want to be.
Well,
So if you launch in 3 weeks, then, sign me up.
So yeah, the app will be called longevity.com. So the mix of two words like draw and longevity, like longevity, but longevity. So yeah, we already put a link on ProtocolsHero website. But if you want to subscribe for our waitlist, go to longevity.com. And we will probably launch quite soon our first AI-driven dynamic interface for collecting longevity knowledge.
Yeah, we worked a lot on AI stuff because to make these claims not encyclopedia format like GPT usually do. So it would be in really good format. So yeah, you can scroll different claims with your purpose, for example, sexual wellness, gray hair, anti-aging, what you want to read. Yeah, and claims report summary from YouTube videos of topic.
I'm really looking forward to seeing. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, how we came to this idea actually. So I was exploring the variety of data sets. I mean, our first story came that I downloaded PubMed and then I parsed it with AI tools to help Anna to recover, right, with her autoimmune condition. But then I continued to download much more web pages of the internet. I downloaded 1 million messages on Reddit about longevity, biohacking, and wellness, and I structured it using my AI tool to uncover various of user pain points. Then I did the same for different Telegram groups. I did the same for YouTube videos. And then I start realizing there are a lot of patterns in what is really missing in the longevity space today. And that through that data-driven approach led to the idea that we need to summarize all of this content into some more reasonable format, right? Because you are unable to read 1 million Reddit messages. It took me a couple weeks to create a tool that can read 1 million Reddit messages in like 5 minutes. And then, in 5 minutes, you read 1 million messages, you get the most actionable plan in your life, right? And if you switch from Reddit to PubMed, you get the best ever scientific proofs. If you go to YouTube channel and then you do the same stuff with this tool, then it gives you a lot of insights from influencers you trust, right? Because right now, Peter Attia, he uploads a lot of videos, right? And for example, Bryan Johnson, he does the same, right? So it becomes a platform where people share the best working evidence.
Yeah. And I really want to have option to ask community rate these claims. Really works for them to do this platform. So
I wonder what happens. I wonder what would happen if you were scraping a bunch of other platforms. Like if you went on TikTok and you trained your AI on like the top, I don't know, 100,000 personal health influencer videos. Like, would it still come up with some reasonable stuff, or would it be like complete rubbish? I feel like that would be a fun experiment to do.
Yeah, I mean, we can always figure out that your AI was trained to perform the best TikTok dance video rather than do some more meaningful things, right? Yeah, that's a good question to filter the data, right? And yeah, in most cases, you can filter it by just choosing what type of people you trust, what type of claims you trust, right? And just seek for more meaningful insights. But where are we right now as humanity, right? So right now we don't really know what works or what does not work, right? Even if you take PubMed or like very good scientific evidence, right? Up to 75% of PubMed research is sponsored by the industry. I mean, can you trust PubMed like, or any like, scientific related article related to therapies to medication? I mean, you can trust it, right? Because in most cases, we see that medication is great for us, right? But they may just hide some side effects or other risks, and even in the trustful resources, you may face that. So it's more about what's your personal filter. Like, do you trust or like the source?
Never trust, but verify, and work and test on yourself. And actually, I have one question for you about this. I'm really curious about all these influencers that you mentioned. You have Profiled, you have Compiled Protocols, you have Peter Attia, you have Bryan Johnson, and others. Like, were there any instances where you have tried like something that they are recommending quite a lot and it just didn't work for you at all, or it just was like, no, this is definitely not the thing? Like, did that happen?
For me, I don't remember such case, but I know that we did research about AG1 and community in Reddit tells that it's overpriced product and contains some toxins, so it works, but it's not so good as advertised.
Yeah, so one thing I tried was ashwagandha. So it's a great herbal supplement that claims to reduce stress and increase your testosterone levels. And many people, they take that supplement, like Bryan Johnson does, or some other athletes, they mentioned that supplement. But what was the outcome after taking it for a couple months? So firstly, you have relaxation and your stress levels goes down. But then when I was taking it, on some certain level, I was very, very stressed. This stress was not really controlled. And then I was researching and I figured out that this supplement may lead to hormone disbalance or liver problems or side effect that I faced.
Like withdrawal.
Yeah, and then once I was double checking, hey, what are other sources telling about that? And they all have the same side effect claim, but this thing could be overlooked once you just read the protocol. That's why we also try to add some notes regarding that on our website.
Ashwagandha very controversial supplement. because I'm growing committed right now and I do it, and I know that there is some big elaborated about population and
So yeah.
Wow, thank you for sharing this. Actually, I supplemented ashwagandha myself. My bottle with supplements ended, so naturally I'm not taking it anymore. But I was reconsidering buying another one. Now I will think again. All right, folks, thank you for the important work that you're doing. It sounds really incredibly useful. Definitely count me in as one of your first users. And I think that there are many more folks like me who would be thrilled to use your tool. It's been another great episode of our podcast, DeSci Pulse. We've been hosting Alex and Anna, who are founders of ProtocolsHero. Thank you for being with us here. And we just have one more question. At Twitter Spaces, somebody raised their hand or asked a question. So one last question before we wrap it up.
Sure.
Somebody with to me.
Yes,
Do you have a question to ask?
No, I believe in this project.
Thank you.
That's a very strong statement. I like that. Do you want to elaborate?
I'm all over the project. I believe in this token.
All right. Thank you. Some words of support always needed by an early stage founder. Great, guys. Thank you so much. Useful advice. I'm looking forward for more. It would probably take me not days, not weeks, but ages to plow through all the Reddit messages. Thank you for doing it for us. That's incredible. And thank you to all the listeners for spending this time with us this lovely Tuesday afternoon, and see you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you
Live long and prosper.